questions for you. First of all, what's your team budget?
Oh, geez.
130,000.
Yeah, we've increased it actually this past
Is it really
year.
that high?
It is-
130,000. How many robots do you build?
Two.
You build 2 robots.
Yeah,
Why?
competition and practice, so that after we bag our competition robot, we can still use our practice robot to obviously do driver practice, operator, or make small changes.
Okay.
for
How many
competition.
people on the team?
We kind of fluctuate. We usually start out with 50, and then kind of towards build season go down to maybe around 20 to 30.
20 to 30. Now, how do you determine that? Do you apply to be on the team? What's the process?
Open door policy.
Open door policy.
And so basically, it's whatever time students want to put in is like how much experience that they're going to get out. And so obviously, by build season, typically we're just going to automatically kind of have more dedicated members there because they put in the time. And then students have just other things. If they want to, they can come to a meeting every other week, or they can come to twice a week or something.
So not that strict.
No.
Now, during the season, do you break into teams within the team?
Yes, so we have 4 different sub-teams. We have electrical, mechanical, programming, business media. Those are further split up. Actually, for programming, we have app and robot programming. And then for mechanical, we have both design and manufacturing.
Okay.
We have a bunch of different sponsors.
Okay.
So,
And you just hit them up for money or parts or whatever?
yes, so we have kind of 2 different. UCD is one of our biggest sponsors,
Okay.
and so they pay a lot of our competition fees, and they also a lot of like the different individual colleges and schools will contribute money to us.
Okay.
We work really closely with the companies here in Davis.
And you guys are in Davis?
Yes, we are just
Okay.
located in Davis, talking and giving presentations to our sponsors. Talking about first what we do as a team, our build season, and especially if you're going to more like a technical company, you can kind of gauge your audience and what you want to focus on. So like we gave a presentation to City Council, we focused more on outreach, but we also gave a presentation to a company called DMG Mori, which is a machining company, and we focused more on technical stuff. So you can kind of focus on different things, but yeah, so we also work with their school district. They paid a lot. They provide our facilities, and so they also helped us pay for new machinery this past summer.
What's your facility like in general?
We actually just moved to our main high school, so we kind of have 2 high schools. And we have a machine shop, so it's a pretty big machine shop, like a little, probably bigger than a standard classroom. And then we have 2 more rooms. One is just a standard classroom with like desks that we use for our meeting space. It's our math teacher, it's also our main coach, Steve Harvey. That's his classroom. And then we also have a smaller room, which is like half the size of a classroom for, we call it the Cisco room, where we have all of our CAD computers and our programming computers inside there. So we have like 3 rooms together.
And how long have you guys been doing it?
We started in like 2004, 2005.
So do you guys have a bunch of robots? Do you cannibalize them every year? Or?
We only started saving robots probably in 2012. That's our oldest one that we actually have. But before that, we used to just cannibalize and take them apart.
They were good demo robots.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
so we can take
the
the
basketballs. We use the basketballs this time to
Do
shoot.
dog and pony shows kind of thing?
Yes, exactly. Because frisbees are kind of, you don't want to hit someone in the face, and
Yeah, this robot
Yeah.
may not be a demo robot.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a kind of fun thing, especially for kids. They can run around. So
And how do you guys recruit new students? Do you guys have an apprenticeship program or anything? Or?
well, we just actually started a lot of our recruiting this past the past couple months. Since we just moved to like the bigger main high school, so we go to a lot of the school events, so like open house, any other, like there's this thing called Roadshow where actually they have a bunch of the clubs and classes give presentations to the 9th graders also who are entering high school. So we try to again work with our high school and whenever they're putting on events to participate in that.
Are you guys 10, 11, 12 in high school? Or?
We're 9 through 12, but Davis is kind of weird because our 9th graders are still on junior high campus, and then our 10th through 12th is on the high school campus. So yeah, and we also we have a farmers market here in Davis that a lot of people go to, and so we have a booth there. Sorry. So we have a booth that we have information, and we also sell light bulbs to fundraise, and sometimes every once in a while we'll bring our robot also.
What are you guys selling to fundraise?
The light bulbs, the first LED, the LED light bulbs. So they have 60 and maybe I think they have still the 100-watt ones now too.
Okay.
Awesome.
But your biggest influx of money is with
Sponsors, and we also have in-part sponsors. So there's one in Vacaville, one in El Dorado Hills, I think, and they machine parts for us. So we buy the stock material, we send them that and the part drawings, and they will use like laser cutting or CNC mills or whatever that they have, machinery we don't have. So that's like their sponsorship for us by making parts and
Very
machining
cool.
them if we can't make them in-house with our stuff. So yeah, so just building all those relationships is really important.
What about, do you guys have scouting groups that go around and try to figure out alliances or?
Yeah,
the
so
other
we
teams
have,
kind of thing?
you probably saw our students there, they hold tablets, and what we do is we scout the teams both. We have what we call regular scouts and super scouts. So the regular scouts do all of the quantitative data, number of totes, how many, how high, how many points. And then our super scouts do all of the qualitative stuff. So how good is your driver? Are you a liability if you knock over stacks? So things like that. And then we also have students in the pit who talk to teams to plan out and strategize all of our qualification matches and finals matches. And work with our driver and pit crew also, so that they can run around while everyone else is working, and so that we can plan out ahead of time. Some initial teams usually start out paper scouting. We actually just started doing this a year, 2 years ago, and so we're trying to share it so that other teams can also convert to a more digital system rather than paper. It's a lot quicker. Obviously, you don't have to organize all the papers and stuff.
So you guys wrote the app on an iPad or something?
We have Android and iOS.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Good for you guys.
applications.
Yeah.
So we do both. It's really important to show any sponsors or potential sponsors, kind of showing your students actually working in your facilities and things like that, to see actually how it impacts the students, because they love to see that in the kids. And so we gave our sponsors like tours of the shop. We brought them to competition, and so that's how you kind of hook them in. Because if you just describe it in like a PowerPoint, it's not very engaging. So yeah, do demos, presentations, bring them to your shop.
And you'll
tours.
go to companies too and bring the robots to companies?
Yeah, when we give presentations, we usually try and ask to do a demo along with our presentation. And even some companies actually have offered to talk to some of their employees. So it's a great chance for students also to see what the actual industry is like and what actual jobs are like. So it's kind of that, you want that reciprocal kind of two-way relationship with your sponsor also. And then just going a little into the team, we like to say we're very much a student-run team. So for each of our 4 sub-teams, we have student leaders, and then we also have a captain and a co-captain. So that Steve Harvey, our coach, doesn't have to take on every single responsibility. There are kids doing the work, not any of the mentors and coaches. They just are mostly a support system for us, and gave great advice and stuff like that.